Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Movie Troll. I am Trex, and alongside me is the Movie Troll.
Hi, everybody. It's me, George, the Movie Troll. How's it going? It's good to be back, and I know that you missed having me in your wonderful little computer screens or cell phones or whatever you're watching this wonderful program in. I missed you too. Hi.
Okay. So today's movie we're going to be talking about is Interstellar, the new flick coming from writer and director Christopher Nolan and starring Matthew McConaughey. What's with the face?
I didn't watch this movie.
You didn't watch this movie?
I didn't watch this movie. I had no interest to watch this movie.
I didn't tell him to watch the movie.
No, he didn't. Well, first off, it's Matthew McConaughey in a quote-unquote serious film, and I don't believe that.
All right.
I don't believe that's possible.
Have you not seen Lincoln Lawyer?
I don't believe that's possible.
Have you seen Dallas Buyers Club?
You can, rattle
He
off.
won an Oscar. He won an Oscar.
I don't like Matthew McConaughey or anything he does, or
Dazed and Confused?
Or anything he does. Additionally, this movie didn't appeal to me. When I saw the previews, it was like, oh god, it's the guy that did The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you gotta take
and when you watch the premise of the movie, it's like, you ever watch a movie and just feel like, hey, what would happen if we just changed this a little bit? I feel like this was watching Lost in Space and be like, hey, what happens if they didn't get lost? What happens if they just got to the planet and rebuilt it to repopulate another planet?
Yeah, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen?
No, that did
so it was
not
Lost
happen.
in Space. Awesome. Without comedy and without Gary Oldman. Okay, it sucked. Cool. I didn't watch
That's
it.
right. Gary Oldman was the creepy guy. I always forget that.
He's a chameleon actor. He's beautiful. I love you, Gary.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Interstellar. Interstellar is, with our time on Earth coming to an end, a team of explorers undertakes the most important mission in human history, traveling beyond this galaxy to discover whether mankind has a future among the stars. The world is dying, so a group of scientists leave this galaxy through a black hole to find a new planet for humanity to habitate. It stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, and Michael Caine. So this movie is, in my eyes, and I saw it, it's a 3-hour movie. That's with trailers. So it was a 3-hour flick. But seeing this movie, I feel that this is this generation's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
You did that thing again.
What did I do again?
With the synopsis.
I expected every show.
Oh, God.
Expected every show.
I feel
Professionalism, kind
I feel
of.
dirty. I need a bath.
So the movie was written by Christopher Nolan and his brother Jonathan, and it was directed by Chris Nolan. So if we take away The Dark Knight Rises, just throw it out the window. Literally, there's 3 windows over here. I want to throw it out the window. He's still a good director. He's still a good writer. I'm going to blame Jonathan for Dark Knight Rises just because I cannot have that power. So with Interstellar, we have Matthew McConaughey. The planet is okay. Actually, as our normal disclaimer, this will have a bit of spoilers. So if you haven't seen Interstellar yet, yeah, just wait by. But of course, if you are okay with some little spoilers, please keep watching. It's still an amazing flick, and I still recommend seeing it even with the spoilers.
Yeah, whatever.
Stop it.
Not gonna watch it.
Okay. So, Matthew McConaughey plays Cooper. He is a farmer, but more importantly, he is an engineer. The Earth has suffered this blight, and it's killed all the crops except for corn. Which, I mean, corn is still there, but his daughter finds out that there's like some message in her room for doing some dusting or whatever, and he finds coordinates to go to the secret base, and boom, it's a big laboratory from NASA. Apparently, NASA went underground because nobody cared about space anymore.
Nobody's funding them. What do you expect?
Exactly. It's everybody, and everybody's really a farmer. There's no colleges only accept certain people. It's like you have to meet this criteria. It's like, so okay, so you can't really. They pick and choose who goes to college and who becomes a farmer, pretty much, because the Earth needs a farmer, and they don't need really anything else.
You can only grow corn.
Well, they're trying to have farmers to find a way to go around the blight that's causing all the crops to die. But we go here into Matthew McConaughey. The scientist at NASA, he was an ex-pilot for NASA.
I like corn.
We all like corn. Oh, and John Lithgow's in it too.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching this movie.
Come on!
I'm just saying.
Okay, so we have to find... The scientists sent out other explorers through this black hole. So it's bringing in some science of going into a black hole and what actually goes on. So it's science fiction. It's some science fiction here. A lot of science fiction. So these explorers have found 3 habitable planets on the other side of the black hole. Stop it. So we need Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway and a couple of other scientists go into space to go into this black hole to see if these planets are habitable. And what happens on the other side of the black hole is quite astounding. It's great. Chris and John did a great job with the storytelling. For a 3-hour flick, it really doesn't go by slow. The pacing is top-notch, and we visit all 3 of the planets. Each one has a problem. The one planet that they visit apparently has... It talks about Einstein's relativity theory, where when you go onto the planet, 1 hour on that planet is actually 7 years to everyone else. And so they keep one person on the back on the space station, and so they go down to the planet to investigate it, to see if it's good. It's not. It's really not. So they finally get back up, and apparently they were down there longer than an hour, because they get back up to the space station, and the dude's like, I've been waiting for 23 years. And I'm like, oh, you left a black guy waiting for 23 years. Everything's gone. That's what happens. But it brings in the science of the relativity theory. And I have to really say, after I saw the movie, I really wanted to go to Neil deGrasse Tyson's Twitter and see what he had to say about the movie. A lot of positive things. One, he gave a lot more positivity than he did Gravity. And buddy, Gravity wasn't, it wasn't science fact, but it was still an enjoyable movie. Congratulations, Julia Roberts. Sandra Bullock. God, I get those two confused.
Again, it's another movie that I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch George Clooney in anything.
But he died.
I might watch this movie. But it's like, the preview was just so, of Gravity was just so disappointing.
Oh, well, it was really a suspense thing, because like, we're in space, and I'm like holding my breath, like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? But with Interstellar,
gonna die.
But with Interstellar, it brings in the imagination that scientists really thrive upon, trying to go into the field of course, going to a black hole. It's a no-go, just a no-go, and visually, it was really stunning. It brought in, God, man, we saw like an event horizon, and at the same time, they are actually explaining how the black hole works and how you have to pass through it. And I'm like, event horizon, event horizon, event horizon. This is all event horizon. When you go through, you're going through hell. It's event horizon. You didn't see event horizon, did you?
I did.
Yeah, you did. But with Interstellar, I'm not going to say it was stellar, because that's just I have tried my best.
Weak.
I have tried, but just speaking of the acting tone with Matthew McConaughey, Matthew, I saw Dallas Buyers Club, and Matthew can do. What do you expect? He's from Alabama. He's going to have that twang. He's going to have the twang. He's not going to get rid of the twang. He's just not. But Matthew
that's the director's job. That's why you don't hire him for a movie.
Matthew McConaughey did a fantastic job, and he's leaving Earth to do this mission, but he's leaving a girl and a boy. He's leaving his kids to go on this mission. So
Question.
Yes.
A few questions.
Okay.
So the people in space, like the black guy that left up in the ship, he was up there for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
How long can they wait for the planet not to be able to sustain life anymore?
Well, that planet was uninhabitable.
Earth.
Oh, Earth?
Yes.
They went back to Earth. It was 23 years later on Earth, and it was still going through some bad times. Some bad times.
No, what I mean is, like, how... So it took, what, a month for them to travel to these planets?
It took 8 months to get to Mars. It's how long it takes.
So it took 8 months to get to Mars.
Took 8 months to get to Mars, and then I think it was a total of 2 years to get to Saturn, I believe. I think that's because I'm going off the top of my head.
And they had to do that same trip back. So we're talking like 6 years, plus the 23.
Well, technically, there were two plans. One plan was to come back, but plan B was actually they weren't expected to come back.
They were going into a black hole. This is a completely understandable expectation.
Well, on the ship, Anne Hathaway's character actually has... Technically, she has the genetic makeup to make humans.
Yeah, she's a woman.
Well, stop it. They have... it was in the...
Oh, you meant like scientifically.
Scientifically,
okay.
yes.
I was like, well...
In the Petri dishes.
I mean, if that's what she's into.
So the plan, there was two plans. One plan was to find a planet and then relay back to Earth, and so they can fly their ship, a bigger ship. It was going to take a little time to build to get the ship over there. But plan B was, and really, I think a lot of people really expected plan B to go through, and plan B was to find a planet, settle there, and Earth is done. But Matthew didn't want to leave his kids. He wasn't going to have that. Not Matthew. Not Matthew. He wanted his kids.
Yes, because true love... We know what true love means to people from Alabama.
That's cruel. So cruel.
No, they're very family-oriented. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Nice. So, I'm not going to give away too much of the movie because a lot of it was just awe. It was literally just drop your jaw. It's like, that's the revelation? That's what's going on? And, of course, there's a couple more cameos as well. We had Casey Affleck was in the film as well. We had, like I said, John Lithgow. Matt Damon showed up. I couldn't believe it either. Matt Damon. As soon as I saw him, like, Matt Damon!
See, I'm kind of sad. Like, so Anne Hathaway was a big part of the movie?
Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey are a big part.
And she was, like, not at all in the previews? If I had known she was in it, I might have watched
Apparently she was, like, for a scene. But
a scene.
Yeah.
A 30-minute clip that I'm barely watching anyway. Because it's like, hey, Lost in Space, it didn't get lost.
Because when I'm watching the movie, I didn't see any of the posters. I knew I was going to watch it. I only watched the one trailer when it first came out.
If I'd known Anne Hathaway was in it, I probably would have been inclined to try and watch it. Because, again, Dark Knight Rises, she was the best part of that movie. For some reason, she knows how to make something watchable in a Nolan film. I would have watched it for her. I would have. And she didn't have to wear black vinyl to do it for me.
No, she was wearing a big, bulky spacesuit.
I don't care. She's still hot.
She is. And she had her short hair after her Les Mis thing, so her hair was down to here. It was really cute.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She's gorgeous.
Yes.
And a phenomenal actress and
But the science behind it, I definitely recommend going over to Neil deGrasse Tyson's Twitter page, and you can actually see him give a lot of credit to Nolan for the Interstellar movie. Just talking about Einstein's relativity, you don't see that in any other movie. When you see female scientists and going in there, female scientists, you don't really see that much into any other movie. So Neil deGrasse Tyson gave it a really good nudges for the science world and also for females as well. For me, the movie was fantastic. Like I said, I'm still holding it to the ground. It was this generation's 2001: A Space Odyssey from Stanley Kubrick. If you haven't seen that movie, that's one movie I recommend seeing, and then going to see this, because they were both fantastic science fiction movies, and this movie is definitely on that scale. Any last words?
I think that you're overly kind to films, especially when it comes to these episodes and things like that, because you were very kind to, I don't know, Dark Knight Rises. And I don't know how I can take your
I took a second look. I saw Dark Knight Rises in a marathon, and I took another shot. And
yeah,
I
never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, it was.
Praise Jesus.
It was. They just can't do. Why can't no one do Bane right? No one can do Bane.
You mean I'd roll out?
And that's it for us from Movie Troll. We will see you guys next week for more reviews, for more movies. Leave your comments in the section below, and thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.